I'm going to be giving you one of my many messages. In today's subject, I'm going to be talking about because I love you. And I'm going to be coming from the book of Job, the 2nd chapter and the 9th verse. I'm going to be talking about Job's wife. As we all know the story of Job and how he suffered tremendously and lost it all. He did not lose his wife. Interesting. But in the story, we all know that it had to happen. And the main reason that it had to happen was for God to get the glory and for us to have an example in the Bible that our sufferings are only for a moment. And the good thing about suffering is that we're going through something. So in order to go through, there has to be an out. Job's wife suffered the same things that Job lost, she lost. She went from the penthouse to the poorhouse. She had everything she wanted because she was Job's wife, and he was one of the richest men in the East. And the interesting thing, or an important note about Job, is that he was a perfect man. The Bible describes him as perfect and upright. So God knew that Job had integrity, that he loved him. Job would offer sacrifices for his kids in case they had sinned. He wanted to make sure he covered them. It didn't say that about Job's wife. But in the story, in the 2nd chapter, in the 9th verse, when she said to Job, "Do you retain your integrity? Curse God and die. You've lost everything. Basically, you've lost it all. There's nothing left. And then you're stricken, you're sick." What wife do you know any that would want their husband to suffer? In the cases of like cancer, when you see your loved one, it seems as if they're suffering, they're in pain, they're losing weight, they're sick. You don't want to continue to see that person suffer. So from that viewpoint, you can kind of understand what Job's wife said and why she said it. It's because she loved him. And because she loved him, she didn't want to see him suffer. He had nothing else. From her viewpoint, she didn't know that Job trusted God. She didn't understand that Job knew that this is crazy. You sound foolish, is what Job said to her. You don't sound like my wife. But that did let me know that Job's wife before, she never took the low road and said, "Curse God." He said, "You sound foolish." That wasn't in her character either. But she loved him. She didn't want to see him continue to suffer. There was nothing left. And we feel like that sometimes, that there's nothing left. It's gone. Where do we go from here? You know, it's like maybe this is the end. Maybe you're going to die too. I've lost everything. Those 10 children that died, they were her children too. She lost them all in one day. She was suffering. And then I don't have anything else. I lost my nice house. I lost this. I don't have a car, or they didn't have cars back then. But in our day and time, we think that our lifestyle defines us. If we lose our house, if we lose our apartment, if we lose our car, if we lose our job, we've lost it all. What do? We're going through, we're depressed, we're praying. We're like, "Oh Lord, I can't take this." But if he allows you to go through it, you can take it. And she had to love him, to watch him, to even when his friends became over and saw Job and they looked at Job, they were speechless. I mean, he probably looked pitiful. The sight of Job was probably disgusting. I have a weak stomach. I don't think I could have looked at him with sores on his body, worms crawling on him. Terrible, disgusting. But, in the end, God gave him double for his trouble. He had more than he had in his former days. His latter days were greater. Those 10 kids that he lost, he got those kids back. He had everything. But to God be the glory, because Satan's been defeated yet another time. And we all know that he has no power over God. To God be the glory for the things he's done. This is my mini sermon, mini message on today. The next time you're going through something, just remember Job. Don't be like Job's wife and tell him to curse God, because that's not going to happen. But trust God despite of what you're going through. And in the end, you'll win. Thanks for listening on today.